Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All right. So let's continue our discussion and right now we are on the curriculum development. And by the way, I really like my background na ko. Oh, nice na kayo siya. I really love it. So what they call this one sa tawag ani oy nakakuha na gyud ko og background na ako nakapalit unsa ni what is the exact term? Naka-invest. So, naka-invest na gid ko og beautiful background. So, I have fairy light. I have, ganin na rin yung naabot ako ang cortina. Amazing. Kaya para dili na ninyo makita ang dito sa ako ang likod. And I'm very excited. Like, ganahan kaayo ko sa akong buhaton. Ganahan kaayo ko mag-discuss. Ganahan ko mag-review. Like, this is really my passion. Kay bisag, walay, wala ko'y viewers, walay gamay lang ako viewers or wala may mag-views ako. Okay lang sa ako basta kay ganahan ko mag-discuss. So, without further ado, let us proceed. So, mag-create lang ako like introduction, brief introduction about myself para mailhan ko ninyo. So everybody know about me, know some brief background about me, and this is what I love to do. I love discussing, making materials because this is what I did during I prepared my board exam. And yeah, by God's grace, hapit ko matap and kulangon lang ako like 86 ang top 10 and then ako kay 84. Well, everything happens for a reason. So I'm very happy naman kay kuan lang man nato din na is pasar, 'di ba? So yes. Without further ado, let's get into our main topic, which is the discussion of curriculum development. All right. So, curriculum development is a planned, organized, and guided process of creating learning experiences for students. So, it's like designing a learning journey, deciding what to teach, how to teach it, and how to measure if learning happened. So, muna siya ang curriculum development. And also, curriculum development today is more than just listing down topics in the syllabus. It's about thoughtfully planning, organizing, and guiding learning experiences that truly matter to students. It's like being a travel planner for a learning journey where you are carefully choose the destinations, which is the lessons, and the routes to get there, which is the teaching strategies, and the landmarks along the way, and that is assessment. So we have lessons, teaching strategies, and assessments. That's what curriculum development do to check if your travelers, the students, are still on track. So let us proceed. So in today's world, where students come from diverse backgrounds, face unique challenges, and learn in different ways, whether online, in person, or a mix of both. Curriculum development needs to be flexible, inclusive, and meaningful. It's not just about what we want to teach, but what they need to learn to be prepared for life beyond classroom. So that's the goal of curriculum development is to prepare the student for the life beyond the classroom. So a well-developed curriculum makes sure that students don't just memorize facts but develop critical thinking, problem solving, and practical skills they can apply in real situations. It considers modern tools, current issues, and students' interest, making learning relevant, engaging, and impactful. So, what does it cover? So, curriculum development covers first, what to teach or the content. Second, how to teach or the instruction. And last but not the least is how to assess learning or the evaluations. So the content or what to teach. So these are the subjects, topics, skills, and values students needs to learn. And how to teach or the instructions. So these are the teaching strategies, activities, materials, and methods used to deliver lessons. And we have how to assess learning or the evaluation. So this is the tools and processes to check if students have learned what was intended. So first we have the content like subject, topic, skills, and values that the students need to learn, and the next it will be implemented like the instruction, the teaching strategies, activities, materials, and other methods used to deliver the lessons or the content. Next, after it was delivered, it's time to assess or evaluate. So this time, teachers need to check if the content, the instruction was effective, and if it's not effective, it's time for them to develop. So let us first discuss the content or the what to teach. So this is like choosing the ingredients for a dish you want to cook. So we will going to relate it to the today's scenario or real life scenario. Okay, so again, this is like choosing the content is like choosing the ingredients for a dish you want to cook. It includes the subjects, the topics, skills, and values that students need to learn. So, in today's world, this goes beyond facts and dates. It also includes life skills, digital literacy, mental health awareness, and values that help them succeed in real life. So, make sure if you make a content, make sure it is relatable to the interest, or it will catch the interest of the students and they can use it in a real life scenario. Next is how to teach or the instruction. So this is deciding how you'll cook the dish. It's about selecting the right teaching strategies, activities, materials, and methods to deliver the lessons. So will it be through storytelling, group work, games, online activities, or real life projects. So today, teachers need to mix traditional methods into with a modern tools like videos, apps, and interactive platforms to keep the student engaged and motivated. So teachers, we have to integrate, especially right now that we are more on technology. So we make sure to integrate technology in our instruction. So how to assess or the evaluations? This is like tasting the dish to see if it turned out well. So it involves using different tools and processes to check if the students have learned what they are supposed to learn. So this could be through quizzes, presentations, project, or even reflective journals. In today's setting, it's important to use both academic assessment and personal growth check-ins to truly understand students' progress. So a while ago, we discussed about the content. So our example is like a choosing um it's like choosing the ingredients, okay, what dish that you wanted to cook. And then after in the instruction, this is like the strategies on how um the process on how to cook, and then there's some materials, the ingredients, something like that. First, you have to choose your content. Second, you have to have the instruction or the methods or the process and also the materials. Next, after that one, you have to evaluate the process or the students if they learn about the topic. You have to evaluate if it is effective or not. So if it is not effective, it's time for curriculum development. So example, in what to teach are the content. So the different parts, for example, other example, the different parts of a plant like roots, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds. That is the content. And then you have the function of each part, like the roots hold the plants and absorb the water. Stem that support the plants and carries water and food. Next, we have leaves, which is the leaves make food for the plant through photosynthesis. And we have the flowers, which is help in reproduction. And lastly, we have the fruits and seeds. So these are for making new plants. So that is your content. However, when it comes to instruction, this time you have to show the colorful pictures or real plants to introduce each part. Tell a story about a little seed growing into a big plant to make it relatable and fun. And also you have to show hands-on activity. So you have to let the students plant, for example, mung beans or mongo in a cotton or soil and observe its growth. And then you have to sing, or also you have to sing a simple plant part song or watch short video. So that's the instruction. You have to show the process. Next, we have the evaluation. So, in evaluations, after you create the content, you create the instruction, you show the instruction, you teach the instruction, it's time for evaluations. What does it mean? You have to propose or implement a short quiz with pictures asking students to identify the plant parts. Also, you can group you have the group presentations where students explain what each plant part does. So, these students, you have to check if the child or the students has learnings. Next, also you can have a drawing activity where each child draws a plant and labels its parts. So in evaluation, it's time to check the learnings of the students if the content, the instruction will be effective. So this way, students learns through seeing, doing, listening, and sharing. So making the lesson fun, meaningful, and memorable. So why it's important to study the curriculum development? Because a well-planned curriculum is like a thoughtful, guided book for learning. It's a guide. So it ensures that students don't just receive random lessons, but experience meaningful, organized, and age appropriate education. Also, it helps children grow not only in knowledge, like what they know, but also in skills, like what they can do, and values, how they behave and make choices. So, when lessons are carefully planned, students feel guided, supported, and motivated because every every activity, story, and task has a purpose in shaping who they will become in the future. It is very important. It's like a blueprint. Next, so a good curriculum is not just about what we teach, but about building confidence, curiosity, and kindness in every learner. So we have the first proponent in curriculum development. First, we have Franklin Bobbitt. So um, he emphasized the scientific curriculum making. So, which means curriculum should be based on specific objectives, students' needs, and life activities. Education must be practical and efficient. By the way, Franklin Bobbitt is an American educator known as one of the fathers of modern curriculum development. He believed that curriculum should be scientifically planned and based on students' real life needs. About the scientific curriculum making theories. So, Bobbitt believed that creating a curriculum should be a systematic, organized, and logical process, like running a business or factory efficiently. So, it should involve identifying clear educational objectives, analyzing learners' needs based on their future adult roles. Next, planning learning experiences that prepare students for a real life task. So that was scientific curriculum making supposed to mean. Next, we have the identifying clear educational objectives. That was the first objectives in scientific curriculum, okay? The identifying clear educational objectives, which means decide what students needs to learn, specific goals that are useful for their future. For example, students will be able to write a letter, solve math problems, or take care of their health. Second, analyzing learners' needs based on their future adult roles. So, in this time, educators think ahead about what skills and knowledge students will need as future workers, parents, citizens, and community members. For example, teaching teamwork and responsibility because these are important for any job and family role someday. Next, planning learning experiences that prepare students for real life tasks. So this time, educators can create activities and lessons which is connected to the practical everyday life situation. Example, you let the students practice writing grocery lists, counting money, planting vegetables, or working in groups, preparing them for real life challenges. So Franklin Bobbitt believed that education should prepare learners for adult life by equipping them with the skills needed for specific tasks in society. He also introduced a scientific and systematic approach to curriculum development, focusing on analyzing human activities to identify what needs to be taught. He viewed the curriculum as a collection of experiences learners need to master in order to perform adult roles efficiently. Here's the key concepts for his studies for Franklin Bobbitt. So, curriculum as preparation for life, meaning the curriculum should be functional and practical, preparing students for real world adult responsibilities. Next, he also emphasizes the activity analysis, meaning identifying activities adults perform in society and determining the specific skills and knowledge students needs for those activities. Next, Franklin Bobbitt also emphasized the scientific approach to curriculum, meaning using systematic research-based procedures to plan, design, and evaluate the curriculum. So other example. So if a future adult needs to manage a household, a curriculum might include topic like budgeting the money, basic home repairs, meal planning, responsible citizenship. So these are thought through activities like project and experiences closely related to real life situations. So for him, the spiral curriculum making, this emphasizes that um, curriculum should be based on the real life scenario. Next, we have so in short, Franklin Bobbitt, basta unsa na siya. He is the father of scientific curriculum making. For him, curriculum should be practical and task-oriented. He introduced activity analysis as a basis for curriculum content. So Bobbitt saw curriculum making as a serious, organized task that focuses on what learners need in the future, making education practical, useful, and life ready. So, why it matters to study Bobbitt's approach? or Bobbitt's theory, because his approach reminds us that education should equip students for the demand of society and adulthood, and that curriculum development must be carefully planned to meet these goals. Next, we have Ralph Tyler. So he is the famous proponent for Tyler's rationale, which is the four basic principles. So what are those? So for him, curriculum must answer four fundamental questions. First, what are the objectives? Second, how to select learning experiences. Third, how to organize them. So number four is how to evaluate. Okay. Tyler is an American educator, often called the father of educational evaluation. Ralph Tyler is the father of educational evaluation. He believed that curriculum development should be systematic, organized, and focused on clear objectives. Tyler's four basic principles. Tyler suggested that curriculum planning should answer four essential questions. First, what educational purpose should the school seek to attain? Second, what learning experiences can be provided to attain these purposes? Third, how can these learning experiences be effectively organized? And last, number four, how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? So first, we will be discussing what educational purposes should the school seek to attain. So in this is a set clear, meaningful learning objective based on students' needs and society's expectation. Example, students will be able to solve basic math problems needed for everyday life. Next, we have what learning experiences can be provided to attain these purposes. So in this, educators need to choose relevant activities and teaching methods that help achieve the goals. Example, teachers should use group work, problem solving games, and real life scenarios to practice math skills. Number three, how can these learning experiences be effectively organized? So in this is the arrange lesson logically from the word organization. It will arrange lessons logically from simple to complex, easy to difficult, or according to the student's interest. For example, teach addition first before introducing multiplication. Next, we have how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained. So in this time, teachers should use assessments like test, project, or observations to check if learning objectives are met. For example, teachers should give a practical quiz or activity like budgeting a week's allowance. Next, Ralph Tyler is often called the father of modern curriculum development because of his systematic way of developing and evaluating curriculum. He proposed that curriculum planning should be goal oriented, organized, and evaluated based on clear objectives. So his famous Tyler's rationale outlines four fundamental questions that guide curriculum development. So again, what he has for basic curriculum questions, which is first, what educational purpose should the school seek to attain, which is set the clear objectives. Second, what educational experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes. That is You have to choose appropriate learning activities. Number three, how can these educational experiences be effectively organized? So this is the sequence and structure content and activities logically. Number four, how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? By assessment, evaluating learning outcomes. Okay, we have a simple example right here. If the goal is to develop communication skills in students, number one, you have to set objectives. Students will be able to deliver a clear, organized oral report. Second, you have to plan activities like debates or speeches. Third, you have to organize these from easy to challenging. Fourth, evaluate through oral presentation or peer feedback. So, in short, Tyler is known for Tyler's rationale. He emphasized clear objectives, appropriate experiences, organized content, and evaluation. Last, curriculum should be systematic and purpose. And it has a purpose. Next, we have Hilda Taba. So he imposed or proposed the grassroots approach to curriculum development. He advocated for teachers' involvement in curriculum planning. She believed that curriculum should be planned inductively, which is specific to general and start with the student's needs. So Hilda Taba, she's a brilliant curriculum theorist who believes that teachers should play an active role in creating the curriculum since they know the learner's needs best. And he proposed the grassroots approach that instead of curriculum plans coming from top level administrators, Taba suggested that curriculum development should start at the classroom level with teachers. This way, it's more relevant, practical, and responsive to students' real situation. Next, Taba steps in curriculum development. So he has 7 steps. First, diagnose the needs of the learners. Second, formulate learning objectives. Third, select learning content. Fourth, organize the content. Fifth, select learning experiences. Number 6, organize learning experiences. And number 7, evaluate. First, the diagnose the needs of the learners. So this is the time to identify what students already know and what they need to learn. Example, teacher noticed students struggle with teamwork. So she plans activities to build cooperation. Number 2, formulate learning objectives. So this is the time to set clear, specific goals based on students' needs. Example, students will be able to work effectively in pairs and small groups. That was the learning objectives. Number 3, select learning content, like choosing topics and materials that fit the objectives. Like example, stories, role playing activities, and teamwork challenges. Number 4, organize the content. It's time to arrange the lessons logically, from simple to complex or by themes. Example, start with the simple team games, then progress to more complex group tasks. Number 5, select learning experiences. So here, curriculum developers should pick activities and methods to help students reach the objectives. Example, team building games, storytelling, and cooperative projects. Number 6 is organized learning experiences. So it is the sequence activities in a meaningful way. Example, icebreaker, pair work, group discussions to project collaboration. Number 7, evaluate. This is the time to assess if students have achieved the objectives and enjoyed meaningful learning. Example, observe group work, give reflection journals, and ask for students' feedback. So Hilda Taba believes that teachers teachers should be directly involved in curriculum development rather than just following a top-down model. Her approach is inductive and grassroots, meaning curriculum development should start from specific classroom experiences and move toward broader generalization. She proposed a seven-step process for creating an effective curriculum, emphasizing the activity role of teachers as curriculum planners. So in short, Hilda Taba advocated teacher involvement in curriculum development. And also, he emphasized curriculum development is an inductive step-by-step process. She also introduced a systematic seven-step model and why it matters. So Taba believed that teachers are curriculum developers too. And when curriculum is built from the classroom up, it's more effective, meaningful, and learner centered. And we have Benjamin Bloom. He is the famous for taxonomy of educational objectives. He created a hierarchy of learning objectives like cognitive, which is knowledge, affective, the attitude, and psychomotor, which is the skills, from simple to complex. So Benjamin Bloom, he's an American educational psychologist who created a helpful framework to classify different types of learning objectives, known as Bloom's taxonomy. So Bloom's taxonomy, it helps teacher plan lessons, activities, and assessments at different levels of thinking skills. So this is the original Bloom's taxonomy. First, knowledge, which is remembering. Comprehension, which is understanding. Application, applying. Analysis, analyzing. Synthesis, creating. Evaluations, evaluating. So knowledge or remembering. So this is the foundations of learning where students simply recall facts, definitions, or basic concepts they've previously learned. It's like storing information in your memory so you can bring it out when needed from the word remember. Example: imagine a child confidently reciting the multiplication table while helping their mom in the kitchen measures ingredients, remembering that 4 times 2 is equals to 8 without needing the count fingers. So this stage builds confidence and prepares learners for deeper understanding. And to be continued, tabi katulugon na kayo ko. Sorry. Kadali lang jud. Tama. Katugon ako. Ato lang sa naikon kay katugon na jud ko. Sorry guys. Ikan pa akong trabaho manggod alas 3. Alas alauna na. I need tulog kay trabaho pa ako later. So, to be continued na ta sa Bloom's taxonomy. So, butangan na ako dari ag to be continued.